The music business is going, we're going country.
I'm so excited to do this video. I was thinking about it all while driving home. I made a mango iced tea because we are going country. So why country? I think I first noticed it when I was watching a Rick Beato video talking about like trends in music.
Next chart, this is where it gets interesting, because then you look at essentially 2019 to 2023, so the last 4 years, what the trends are. And you'll notice that this top thing here is hip-hop music, which has actually gone down a lot on the charts. It's gone from 53% dominance, then 58% in 2020, but now it's way down to 27%. It says right here, since 2022 to 2023, country has moved from 8% up to 20% of its representation on the Billboard charts. That's a 150% increase. That's massive. I've noticed this when I do the top 10 Spotify countdowns, that there's a lot of country songs on the charts now that there never were before.
Why is it that every other pop artist wants to go country? And I have a theory behind that. We're gonna do a little history lesson. I don't really have a script for this because this is just coming to me stream of consciousness. I am collaborating with ChatGPT to help me with getting my points across. Let's dive in. So the name country music originates from the genre's roots in rural American folk music and Western cowboy music. It evolved in the early 20th century, drawing from the traditional folk songs and ballads of European immigrants in the southern United States. The term country reflects the rural agriculture regions where the music was initially popular. Early broadcasts and recordings of this style often labeled it as hillbilly music, but by the 1940s, country and western became the preferred term. Eventually, country alone was adopted as the genre's name, signifying its connection to rural American life and traditions. Country music has had several peaks in popularity throughout history. The first was in the 1920s and the 1930s. The genre gained significant traction with the advent of radio. Programs like the Grand Ole Opry, which started in 1925, brought country music to a broader audience, helping to popularize artists like Jimmie Rodgers and the Carter family. Fun fact, Theo and I, with his parents, went to the Grand Ole Opry recently, and we didn't even realize it was like a really big anniversary. It was really cool. I got to see Riders in the Sky, which is the band from Toy Story 2 that sang Woody's Roundup. Watching them perform checked off a huge bucket list item in my brain that I didn't even know I needed. So the next peak was in the 1940s and the 1950s. Post-World War II, country music continued to grow with artists like Hank Williams achieving nationwide fame. The development of the Nashville sound in the 1950s, characterized by smooth productions and pop-oriented influences, further expanded the genre's appeal. So the next popular wave was the 1960s and the 1970s.
Hello, Willie. Willie, you know, if we tried to do all your hits, we'd be here till February.
I'll wait.
The genre saw another surge in popularity with the rise of the outlaw movement, led by artists like Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings. This period also saw the crossover success of artists like Johnny Cash and Dolly Parton, bringing country music into mainstream popular culture. So I think what was really interesting about the 1960s and 70s, it was the first real clap back at the industry. Things were very like prim and pop proper and clean, but in actuality wasn't how the artist was truly feeling and what the artist truly wanted to say. I think that if we didn't have artists who took risks in being outlaws and like pushing against the times in the industry, country music would have eventually become history. So I think we're at kind of a similar crossroads here today, where we have artists who are on the radio right now and they're playing very like radio friendly country hits, while the internet has kind of been able to foster another like version of outlaw country for country artists who can't get played on country radio. And it's a very interesting dynamic of having almost two lanes of country music going on at the same time. I'm very curious to see where this will take the industry moving forward. Now we're at the 1980s and the 1990s, which is the genre of music I mostly listened to growing up with my parents. The commercialization of country music reached new heights with artists like Garth Brooks, Shania Twain, and Reba McEntire. The fusion of country with pop and rock elements attracted a broader, more diverse audience. This was a really, I feel like, influential time in country music. This was when like a renaissance of sorts happened. I think this was kind of peak country, honestly, where it was the most like heightened lyrically, but also melodically and production wise. The productions were so complementary to the stories that were being told at the time that I think that's why so many artists from that time period specifically are so iconic and legendary and timeless in a way.
No one told us it was country night. Y'all want to hear some country music?
So the 2000s to now, the genre has continued to evolve with contemporary artists like Taylor Swift, Carrie Underwood, and Luke Bryan blending traditional country sounds with modern pop and rock influences. This adaptability has helped country music maintain a significant presence in the popular music landscape. From a listener's perspective, from a fan's perspective, I think after Taylor Swift left country music, it kind of left a huge hole in the market for country that was really hard to fill. There are a few artists, I would say like Kelsey Ballerini, and I'll list a couple more because I know that there's a few more. We are moving into a time in history where technology is changing rapidly. It is changing at a scary, scary pace. AI specifically has played into that. And I think that also, that is the nexus point of kind of hip hop declining in popularity and country music rising in popularity is when AI came out. And I don't know if it's happenstance that it happened to kind of cross that way or if it's a natural reaction of the culture. But this is getting to my thesis point of I think the popularity of country music is a reaction to the technological advances that we are seeing in society today. Because with everything being AI, like I'm probably going to use AI to like edit this and caption it and do a bunch of stuff with it to make it digestible for people on the internet. But with that, with the pros come the cons. And a lot of the cons with AI is that it's fake. It's not made by real artists. It's not, a lot of the products we'll see aren't even real. Like I'll be on the internet and I'll be like, oh, this like Lego sculpture of like a punch buggy is so cool. I wonder if that actually exists. It doesn't. And also like there are photos on the internet of people that are AI generated of not real people. Like there's chat bots all over the place. With the development of AI, it's just so saturated with stuff that's not real. And that's very scary. Like being a part of a social structure where you don't know what's real, we don't know how to navigate that yet. And I think this is where country music comes into play and why it's becoming popular is because the saying goes is you only need 3 chords and the truth. It's telling very raw, organic stories. And country music has always been that platform for artists to just sit with a guitar and sing and write what they know. And especially in a time when things are in a scary upheaval, relationships with other countries and societies and people are like at a boiling point, it's nice to kind of fall back on something that's nostalgic and something that you know is real. And country music has had its ups and downs. There's a lot of issues with country music as a culture as well. But I do think wholeheartedly that at the core, country music is a place where anyone can come and be honest. And we need a lot more of that. So I think we'll be seeing more country music, more organic music in the mainstream. I don't know how long. It'll be interesting to see the growth and the development because country also seems to be like one of those genres that it's very adaptable. It kind of, at the core, it's still the same, but it'll take on influences of the times. And put that into the story. And I think that's what Cowboy Carter, actually, specifically with Beyonce, has done. And there's a whole argument as to whether Cowboy Carter is a country album or not a country album. And I think she said it best, it's a Beyonce album. I haven't been drawn to country music in a long time. It's not engaging for me, personally. With what Beyonce has done sonically, I feel like sonically it has captured the essence of what country music can be. And not that it's sounding like a country album, but the heart of it is country inspired. And also it's a history lesson in where country music has come from. And also paying homage to the people that helped make country music what it is today. Even though I still don't consider Cowboy Carter a country album, it's country reclaimed. It's an American requiem, truly. That's my theory with why country music is becoming popular. What are your theories as to why country music is becoming popular again? I think that's it. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video.